Haribo, Namaste. We're going to have a little kirtan before we hear the story today. Do you have an instrument you could play? Maybe you have some sticks or a glockenspiel, or maybe you have some kartels or a guitar or ukulele. The chords are going to be up here. So if you're playing a ukulele or guitar or another tuned instrument, it might make it a little bit easier for you to play along, if you like. The chords I'm going to be playing on the guitar are C, G, A minor and F. The first song we're going to sing is the prayers to the spiritual master. And the next one will be our prayers to Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda and the devotees. And after that, we're going to sing the Maha Mantra, which is the Hare Krishna mantra. Let's give it a try. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pastaya Bhutale Srimate Siraswarupananda Paramahamsa Namine Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasudeva Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. That was fun, wasn't it? Well, let's sing another chant. How about Gopala Govinda Rama? Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana Gopala Govinda Rama Madana Mohana. And this time, let's sing Madana Mohana Murari. Madana Mohana Murari, Madana Mohana Murari, Madana Mohana Murari, Madana Mohana Murari. Let's try it again. Madana Mohana Murari, Madana Mohana Murari, Madana Mohana Murari, Madana Mohana Murari. Well done, everybody. Oh, it's Shaimali the cow. Haribo, Shaimali.
Haribo.
You might remember her from some of the other videos. Well, Shaimali, we're going to be talking about something interesting today. Something very, very hot.
Oh, hot like the sun.
Well, have you ever seen fire? You haven't? What about you, boys and girls? Have you ever seen fire? What do you think of when you think of fire? Maybe you think of sitting around the fire when you're camping. Or maybe you're having a kirtan around the fire. Or maybe you're roasting some delicious marshmallows on a stick. Or maybe you're thinking fire is really hot and dangerous. And you may have seen a big fire in the forest or the bush near you. Fire has been used throughout time. And yes, it is very dangerous, but also very important as people use it to cook on, or they even use it to keep themselves warm, don't they?
What does a fire need?
What does it need to burn? Well, fire needs fuel and oxygen, which is a gas which is in the air that we breathe. If you don't give the fire oxygen, then it's not going to burn. So you may have seen some people blowing air into a fireplace, and instead of putting it out, it makes it bigger.
What colour is fire?
Ah, good question. What colour is fire? I wonder if you know at home. Let's have a look at this video of fire. Oh, look at the colours. Orange and yellow. And if you look down the bottom, it's quite reddish. The redder it is, the hotter it is. So fire in Sanskrit is called Agni. And Agni is the fire personified. He is a demigod. Fire is very important. The Vaishnava devotees and Hindus in the past and today use fire in sacrifices. A fire sacrifice is used to celebrate occasions such as weddings, births, and it's also used to burn the body when the person's left it at death. Fire sacrifices are used in marriages still to this day, and to worship demigods and the Supreme Person, Krishna. In Sanskrit, yajna means sacrifice. The fire, Agni, is fed with ghee, and prayers and chants are sang by the Brahmins and the others present. And they are very sacred occasions.
So tell me, why are you talking about fires?
Yes, why am I talking about fires today? Well, it's a bit of a clue to the story that I'm going to be reading today. And in this story is a really huge fire. Have you ever seen a really huge fire? Huge fires can cover hectares of land, and they burn down giant forests. Do you know a story where Krishna saved his friends and his cows from a devastating forest fire? So let's watch the story now. Vrindavan is such a wonderful place. The lakes are always surrounded by soft green grasses and filled with lots of lotus flowers. The breeze carries the fragrance of the lotus flowers throughout the whole of Vrindavan, and the flowers are always blooming. Birds are singing, the peacocks are dancing and calling out loudly, and the bees are humming. Just to enjoy this nice atmosphere, Krishna, along with his elder brother Balaram and all the cowherd boys, entered the beautiful forest of Vrindavan. The boys played many games together, catching ball with bell-shaped fruits and challenging one another in wrestling matches. Sometimes they would play tag games and sometimes blind man's bluff. Sometimes they would pretend to be the king and his subjects, and they would also imitate the forest deer along with the different kinds of birds in the forest. The boys would copy the croaking of the frogs and try and catch them in the water. They would love playing with the monkeys and catch their tails as the monkeys scampered up the trees. The monkeys, being annoyed, would show their teeth at the boys, and the boys would show their teeth back. Just see all these monkeys. When Gopala danced, the other cowherd boys played their flutes and bugles or buffalo horns. When Krishna's friends would dance, Krishna would encourage them by saying, "My dear friends, you are dancing and chanting very nicely." While the boys were busy playing, the cows and buffaloes were all alone and wandered off farther and farther into the deepest part of the forest. They roamed from one forest to another in search of the fresh grasses, and gradually they entered into a forest called Ishkatavi. They were attracted to the forest because it was full of fresh green grass. However, the animals became afraid when they saw that there was a forest fire, and they began to cry out loudly for Krishna. When the boys stopped playing, they saw that their animals were missing, and they became very upset. Because of their great love for their animals, they began tracing out their footprints in the sand and the path of eaten grass. As soon as they heard their cows crying, Krishna answered by calling each cow by their own names, and the cows replied joyfully. But by now the fire was surrounding all the cowherd boys and animals. The flames grew bigger as the wind blew very quickly. It seemed as if the flames would devour everything in their path. The animals and boys were very frightened, and they looked longingly at Krishna and Balaram. "Dear Krishna, dear Balaram, we are your dearest friends, and we have been scorched by the blazing fire. We know you can protect us. Oh dear Lord, let us take shelter of your lotus feet. We do not know of anyone who can help us but you. We fully depend on you to save our lives." When Krishna heard his friends appealing to him, he looked at them very lovingly, and he began to assure them by speaking through his eyes. "Do not be afraid.
Then Krishna, who is the master of all mystic powers, immediately swallowed up the flames of the fire and saved his friends and cows. The boys, who were almost unconscious because of their fear, opened up their eyes again and saw that they and their animals were safe and that the forest fire was completely gone. In fact, it looked like it wasn't even there in the first place. There were no signs that there had been a fire. Perhaps Krishna was not an ordinary boy, thought the cowherd boys. Perhaps he's secretly a demigod. In the evening, Krishna and Balaram, along with their friends and cows, returned to the village of Vrindavan, and they played their flutes as they approached the village, and all the gopis became overjoyed to know that at last Krishna and Balaram was returning home.
The Art Gallery. This is Nitai from Australia. He's 4 years old and he's drawn the sparrow from the story of the sparrow who lost her eggs. Do you remember that story? It's a great picture, Nitai. This is Joshua, who's also 4 years old, and he has done a collage over the top of a drawing of Krishna. What's Krishna doing here? That's right, he's swallowing the forest fire. This is Nadia, who's 8 years old, and she's drawn one of the wonderful pictures from my Kids for Krishna video. One of Krishna's beautiful cows. This is Shaimala, and she's age 6. Oh, look, she's done a pencil drawing of Lord Chaitanya dancing and chanting with the animals. Look at the elephant, he's saying Krishna, and the tiger's jumping up and down. Here's Nitai again. He's been very busy with his arts and crafts. Look, he's made one of the crafts from the Govardhan story video. It's a Govardhan hill model. Well done, Nitai. I just love it. These drawings were done by Sachi, who's 11 years old and lives in Australia. She's done a beautiful picture of Balaram and Krishna walking through the forest. And here's another one. Can you guess which demon this is? Balaram is riding on the shoulders of Pralambasura. Well done, Sachi, and well done, everyone. Thanks for sending me your lovely Krishna artworks. I really enjoyed looking at them. You can send me them whenever you like. Haribo, wait a minute. Stop! Oh, there's one more. It just came in today. This picture is drawn by Gauravani in New Zealand, who's age 6. She has drawn a picture of the puppy and Lord Nimai. Well done! See you next time!
Kids for Krishna Playtime. We're acting out the story of when Krishna swallows the forest fire, using some cows and some blocks which have cowherd boys and Krishna on them. You may have some toys like this at home and like to act it out too. The cows were enjoying the fresh green grasses in the forest, and the cowherd boys were playing. They were imitating the animals and chasing them, and they were playing lots of games like blind man's bluff and playing tag. But then all the cows wandered off while the boys were so busy playing, and they became very worried, and they cried out to Krishna, "Krishna, our cows are all missing. I wonder where they are. Oh, we must look for them." They were very, very worried, so they went about searching for their cows, following the footprints and the path of eaten grass, until it led into a beautiful forest, which was full of fresh green grasses, and that's why the cows had gone there. But when they got there was a forest fire. It was getting very hot and smoky, and soon it was surrounding all of the cowherd boys. They were nearly unconscious from the smoke and the heat of the fire. Then Krishna opened up his mouth and he swallowed all the flames of the fire. The cowherd boys were astonished to see there were no signs of the fire left, and they were just in awe and wonder at their wonderful friend Krishna, how he saved them once again. Jaya Krishna, Jaya Krishna. Can you guess what game the children are playing? Maybe you've played a game like this before. They're playing a game where they're trying to smash the butter pot. It looks like lots of fun. Come on, you can do it. Oh, it looks like it's beginning to break. Ready?
It's a cracked butter pot.
Here it goes. All the children have collected some sweets underneath. Now they're going to play Pin the Garland on Krishna. The children wear a blindfold and try and pin the garland in the right spot. It's pretty tricky. It is fun playing with Krishna. Not quite.
Yeah, I thought it would be.
Here the children are decorating cakes. The cakes are shaped like hearts and flowers. Lots of icing, strawberries, and sprinkles.
It's okay, well you've got...
It's fun being creative with cakes.
Give you 8.
When all the cakes are finished, they're going to be placed on the leaf and made into a garland-shaped cake. Now all the cakes are ready. Don't they look so beautiful? Lots of cakes together to look like a garland cake. And now it's time to offer it to Krishna.
Did you really enjoy that story, Sharmali? I did too, and the pictures are beautiful, aren't they? Well, it's time for us to go now. But first, before we go, let's sing a Namaste song. Haribol Namaste, Haribol Namaste, Haribol everyone, and Haribol Namaste. And we'll see you next time.